And let me get view gallery, and I'm going to go into share screen. Sorry, guys. There we go. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Tina Huerman, and I am so stinking excited to be able to share this with you this evening. I'm an independent consultant with HB Naturals, and I began my cannabis journey about 10 years ago when my mother was given a notice from her doctor that there was something pretty serious going on. And so I was trying to find a way to save her, which led me down this path of understanding what cannabinoids are and how they work within the body. Sadly, I wasn't able to learn enough fast enough. Fear and a lot of other things got in the way, lack of knowledge. If somebody could mute themselves, that would be great. Um, and then why? Why do I do this? Why do I push? Why do I get my goals? That would be those four people right there in that other circle on the right. That's my amazing family. So I want to know, and I'm on a different screen, so I won't be able to see it, but I want to know where you stand in the cannabis market. Haven't heard about it, but you're curious. You've heard about it, but not used it. What is it? You've been wanting to try it. You currently used it. You tried another brand. You didn't see results. I get that so many times. Or you still think it's marijuana. And hopefully, this class tonight is going to help alleviate that stigma F for you, because it's not. It's completely different. Both work differently within the body, obviously. Um, Hold on. So, where does hemp come from? The first traces of hemp were found in the Middle Stone Age, and it was found in the agricultural revolution about 8,000 BC. There are many things in our history that the hemp plant has been used to be a part of our history. It's woven into the first two drafts of the Declaration of Independence, Rembrandt's Van Gogh, as well as most early canvas paintings were painted on hemp linen, Bibles, Betsy Ross's flag. There are so many things that hemp is woven into the history of the United States, but it's also such an amazing product or plant because of what it does for our earth. I don't know how many knew this, and I was so excited to know this once I learned this. But as hemp grows, it pulls the toxins out of the soil and up into the shoots and flowers of the plant, which is why we're going to get to purity later on, but which is why it is so important to know the source of your plants, because it is pulling those toxins out. It's purifying the ground that it's grown on. Five 500 pounds of cotton can be grown in an acre of land, where hemp will produce 1,500 pounds. 1 acre of hemp will produce enough fiber, will record enough. Sorry, that was weird. 1 acre of hemp will produce enough fibrous material to equal 3 to 4 acres of trees. How scary is that? That we rely on trees more so than this every 4 month production. There's more than 2,500 different uses for hemp, from textiles, paper, industrial products, foods, body
Tina?
care. Yes.
Okay, we lost you for just a second. Okay.
Okay, where was I?
You're back. Yeah, right there on that slide. There you go.
Okay. There are more than 2,500 uses for hemp: textiles, paper, clothing, foods, body care, industrial products. Paints used to be made out of hemp, the oils in that as a base. And in fact, Henry Ford, one of his first cars was a hemp fibrous product car. You used to be jailed if you did not grow hemp as a colonist. But what happened? Why is hemp the bad boy of the neighborhood? Enter corporate greed. John D. Rockefeller, Standard Oil Company. He had a vested interest in keeping this environmentally friendly, renewable resource out of the picture because it threatened the oil industry. And he was also a petropharmaceutical giant. He was the beginning of our medical society as we see it today. William Randolph Hearst. He was threatened because of the trees. He had a vested interest in not only a tree farm, but also in the logging industry. He had a paper mill, and he had the New York Times. Then we have Harry Anslinger, commissioner, the first Federal Bureau of Narcotics commissioner, which is now known as the FDA. In his quest to save his department with alcohol prohibition dismantling, he had to find another way to keep his department going, and marijuana became the target. He was also an extreme racist and used his racial prejudice as well as his fear of losing his department to create a fear-mongering campaign against hemp and marijuana. He classified them together. Hemp being the one that could replace so many things environmentally friendly as well as purify the earth. So he used immigration, and he, as you can see in that quote, I don't even like to say it, but that is how ugly this whole process started in the prohibition of hemp and marijuana. It was corporate greed. Pharmaceutical giants account for half of the healthcare industry's $50 billion in worldwide profits in 2018. The U.S. accounts for 5% of the world's population and 80% of the pharmaceutical industry. This has got to stop. Plants over pills every single day if you can. So what is CBD? There's so much confusion around what it is. Some people think it's marijuana. Some people think it gets you high. There's so many facets to this, but really I'm going to break it down for you so that you can see just how simple and amazing this one oil is. So, like I said, there's two species of cannabis. There's hemp and there's marijuana. Hemp is the extract from the hemp plant. Back in high school, I think we called it ditchweed. Many beneficial parts to this, like I said earlier, with the clothing, the health, the skin care, the hair care, and how it affects your health. In the early 1900s, they discovered what is called the endocannabinoid system. Yes, you guys, we have a system within our body that feeds off of the cannabinoids that we are deficient in. These cannabinoids that were taken away back in the early 1900s now have us at a cannabinoid deficient state within our body. Our cows used to be fed this. Our pigs used to be fed this. They're also cannabinoid deficient, much like the soil depletion minerals in our earth, in our crops. Our animals are also deficient in the cannabinoids. There are over 80 different cannabinoids in the hemp plant and over 140 different cannabinoids in the marijuana plant. Each one has a specific role and function on how it can benefit your body. There's CBD, which is the most known. There's CBG, CBC, but then on the psychoactive side, there's THC, CBN, THC, and there's different letters that kind of go together with each of those. Like I said, there's over 80 in the hemp plant. So the entourage effect, there's a lot of oils out there that will say that they're a hemp oil. Some people buy that thinking that they're getting cannabinoids, but it's truly just a hemp oil. It is a salad dressing, much like olive oil. When you get a true full spectrum hemp oil, you're getting multiple cannabinoids. You're getting the CBD, CBDA, CBN. You're getting dozens of terpenes, flavonoids. You're getting your omegas. You're getting some vitamins. You're getting your minerals. But what does this mean for you? Let's see. Where did my mouse go? There we go. Did you know that human breast milk naturally contains some of the cannabinoids found in the cannabis plant, which are vital for the infant's proper development? A 2016 article reviewing over 10 years of research on the subject suggests the theory would explain why some people are developing these mystery diseases. There's nothing really to explain what's going on or why they're getting these, other than the possibility of a cannabinoid deficiency. Endocannabinoid deficiency is a clinical diagnosis. So how do they work in our bodies? The endocannabinoid system has two basic receptors within the body, CB1, CB2, cannabinoid 1, cannabinoid 2. Cannabinoid 1 is mainly found in the brain, where cannabinoid 2 is found throughout the rest of the body. They work synergistically. When you feed your body the proper nutrients, the proper cannabinoids to activate this system balances every other system within the body. Your brain, your lungs, cardiovascular, liver, bone growth, immune support. It is absolutely the one oil that really is life-changing for you. But there's a lot of products on the market, right? How do you choose? The element of confusion. So when I first started studying cannabinoids, I really didn't know what I was looking for. I didn't know anything about it. I knew a little bit. I knew it got you high, but I didn't realize hemp was separate. So I've really learned a lot along the way, and I'm so thankful for the opportunity to teach it back and remove that fear mongering. If you haven't watched the movie on YouTube called Reefer Madness, that was a part of that propaganda that the New York Times, Aslinger, Rockefeller were a part of helping produce. So now that I know what I'm doing, how can I help you know what to look for? Number one is purity. As I mentioned earlier, the hemp plant is going to pull toxins from the soil. And what is happening with a lot of the cheap brands on the market is that hemp is being grown in China and shipped to the United States at a discounted rate. So when you're buying your hemp products at a gas station, think about what that hemp plant in China has been exposed to. It's one of the most polluted countries in the world, not to mention everything else that could be in their soil. Pretty scary, isn't it? Wanted to make sure that it was price. What would be the point of having the best product on the market? And let me tell you, I used to think I had the best product, and it took me 2 years to find something that would match up and be better than what I used to carry. And obviously the product. So from field to bottle, pure, potent, full spectrum hemp, proudly farmed in Kentucky. We are under the FDA guidelines, so it is legal in all 50 states. Once it's processed, once you extract that oil from the hemp plant, which, by the way, that extraction process is a CO2 process versus a chemical-induced process, which means that there is even more purity coming to you. The labels that we have, the certifications that we have on our products speak for themselves. That's your guarantee that you're getting a quality product. And I always tell my people, if you are looking at hemp, always, always, always look at the lab reports. Here's a picture of ours. And you can see that there is a vast majority of different cannabinoids within our, this is the 1,000 milligram, within our hemp product. Having that vast majority helps the entourage effect of the cannabinoids work synergistically together with the endocannabinoid system. Then you want to take a look at their lab report or their pesticides and molds and things like that. And you can see right there that we have absolutely nothing in ours. I've seen some horrific lab reports from some of the products that my clients, hey, is this a good one? Send me the lab reports, I'll compare. So I have this handy little calculator that I compare cannabinoids to. HBN's cannabinoids are listed on the left, and the other, a very reputable competitor company, this is their 1000 milligram. What this is telling me is that they really don't have anything but CBD. They have a little bit of CBN and a little bit of Delta 9. But check this out. They're both 1000 milligrams, and they are not even reporting the same amount of cannabinoids in their hemp oil that is on the label. So always ask for the lab reports. Then absorbency, oil versus water. Ours is a liquid format of a cannabinoid, of a hemp oil. And think about your body. Like, I remember the first science project that I ever did in school. And it was a glass of water with a drop of oil. And the oil sat on top. So your body, it's mostly water. It's not going to absorb a CBD oil. You're wasting your money because you're only going to get about 20 to 30% of the actual cannabinoids within your body. Your body loves water. So when you have a liquid-based CBD product, your body is going to love it. It's going to recognize it. It's going to feel like a glass of iced tea or Vitality on a hot summer day. We have different strengths for different levels of severity. Depending on where you're at in overall health, I would say 500 would be a low range, a 1000 would be a mid range, and a 2400 would be the high range. So just kind of figure out where you're at. For me, CBD really saved my life. After losing my mom in 2017, I found my CBD product, the one that I no longer carry. And within 2 weeks, I got my life back. My husband got his wife back. My kids got their mom back, and I got my life back. So how do you take it? Right under the tongue. These are suggested servings. You always want to start low and slow because everyone's body is so different that sometimes if you take too much, it could make you feel ill. So be patient with it. Know that it's working even if you don't have anything that you're feeling immediately. I had a customer that had that exact situation. So what if one oil could change your life? Reach out to the person that invited you to this call and ask them for your CBD because this truly is the best on the market. Thank you, Landy. Back to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tina. I learned so much during that presentation. And guys, I'm going to switch it back over to my screen. Appreciate your time tonight. I am so excited to introduce our featured guest. And that is Miss Dr. Ivy Cruz, you guys. She is and if you would, please just mute yourselves, please, guys. As people come in, we're not muting. There's so much background noise. So just so we can hear this valuable information, please mute. Dr. Ivy is a board-certified naturopathic doctor, clinical herbalist, licensed holistic practitioner. She's a homeschool mama to 5. She's been in this field for 18 years. I know, look at her. She looks like a teenager, you guys. She has a focus on epigenetics and DNA, and teaching is her passion. And, you know, she is definitely full of knowledge. And I just cannot wait to hear her talk on our black seed oil. So let me find Ivy, and I'm going to unmute her. And let me stop my share so she can, I'll unmute you and then stop my share so you can share your screen. Okay, let's make sure we can share. Okay, Ivy, you should be able to share your screen now. There she is. I see it. Okay, cool.
She's muted.
Okay, guys, Murphy is definitely working tonight. Hold on. Ivy, you are muted. Please unmute. Find your
Yes.
Okay, there you got it. Okay, if you would just start from the beginning. We didn't hear any of that.
No. I know. Sorry.
Okay.
I don't know what happened here.
All right, so welcome. We're glad to have you here. Okay, here we go. I'm going to mute myself.
Okay. Thank you guys for having me so much with you this evening. I'm going to give you as much jam-packed information as I can in an amazing amount of time. So we're going to be discussing tonight about black seed oil. And I want to echo what Landy said at the beginning of our time together. Nothing here is meant to treat, diagnose, or cure any diseases. And remember that although I am a doctor, I am not your doctor. So before you do anything, or if you feel the need to, go ahead and get professional advice before you go ahead and do anything. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. And so we're going to talk about one of our beautiful little gems, and it's black seed oil. Now, the scientific name of it goes by Nigella Sativa, and it has a couple common names. One of them is black seed oil. Another common name is black cumin seed oil. And then it also can go by black caraway oil. Okay. So this particular beautiful little black seed is native to the Mediterranean. It's in North Africa as well. And it's also found in the Indian subcontinent. So this beautiful seed brings absolute tremendous benefits, both not only internally, but also externally as well. Now, the earliest recording of use of black seed oil was at up to 3,005 years ago. So it's been used for quite some time. Now, I'm going to share with you guys some of the uses and the benefits of this oil, because actually there's so many to cover. And so just in our short time, I tried to pick out what would be the most vital benefits and uses to show you that people have gotten throughout the years. And when I say that there's so much history and so much documentation on this oil, I'm talking about over 1,000 peer-reviewed journal studies that have been published just on black seed alone. So black seed oil is antiviral, antibacterial, and it's anti-inflammatory. Now, don't get nervous. I'm going to tell you what it's good at. And then in my next slide, I'm going to show you exactly why it's good at what it does. So we already said it's antiviral, antibacterial, anti-inflammatory. It's going to help reduce symptoms of opiate withdrawal during the acute withdrawal stage. So for people that are coming off of opiates and stuff like that, I don't know if you know of a loved one, but I've had several in my family come off of opiates, and it is not a pretty sight, and it is very difficult. So this helps reduce the symptoms of that opiate withdrawal. In 2017, a phytotherapy research paper was published finding benefits for asthma, improved forced expiratory volume. That means if you've ever had surgery in a hospital and before you can go home and be discharged, where they give you this blow test to see how much strength you've gained after coming out of surgery, how well you've gotten, that's a very big marker before any hospital is going to release you to go ahead and go home. This found tremendous improvement in patients taking black seed oil in their expiratory volume before they were discharged to go home. There's positive effects on memory, on brain function. It reduces brain inflammation. In 2015 through 2017, there were review published studies in a magazine called Complementary Therapies in Medicine. It showed improvements in diabetes type 2 because it helps regulate blood sugar. It also helps regulate cholesterol. It also helps regulate hypertension. And this is a big thing right here, because we know that the number one thing in common that a lot of major diseases have is insulin resistance, right? Insulin resistance is also known as AKA, that's metabolic syndrome, okay? So in 2016, there was another study published in Immunological Investigations. The study was very promising for rheumatoid arthritis. Again, in 2015 and 2016, there was a controlled clinical trial with obese women that included proper eating diet and exercise as well. And the control group that was actually taking black seed had more of a significant weight loss than the group that was not taking black seed oil, and they just were doing great, healthy, whole food dieting, eating, and they were doing exercise. They weren't taking any black seed oil, and the end, the group that was taking the black seed oil on top of the healthy eating, on top of the daily exercise, they lost significantly more weight. So that's amazing in and of itself. I've had 5 children and I'm always making sure, I would love to get back to that pre-pregnancy weight. So it's amazing for skin, for rosacea, for varicose veins, for those age spots as we get older. They seem to pop up on various parts of our body. Psoriasis is another thing that it's absolutely amazing for. And then, I mean, if this wasn't a bonus already, it's amazing for allergies and headaches. I don't know how many of you suffer those with, depending on what state you're in. But I know some states are very bad in certain seasons, and what do you have to look forward to? So now I'm going to explain to you, how is it that it can be so multifaceted and so good at not 1 or 2 or 3 things, but a handful of things, if not more, way more than a handful of things, but I'm trying to be conservative here. Well, as you look here, what are we looking at? We've got something that's loaded with B1, B2, B3, vitamin E. You've got copper, zinc, phosphorus, folic acid, iron, calcium, magnesium. You've got 8 essential amino acids. It's very rare to find something that's got a complete amino acid profile like that. Then you have omegas, your oleic acid, your EPA, DHA. And before I even go on further, understand that just with EPA and DHA, those are your omegas, 2 important ones. There's so much research with just both of those 2 demonstrating ability to do what? To protect your brain, to fight inflammation, lowering your LDL cholesterol, okay? Now, why? Well, here are 3 main components for this beautiful little gorgeous black seed oil. Number 1, a component in that oil is beta-cytosterol. It's basically a waxy plant compound that looks just like cholesterol does in your blood vessels. So in doing so, it regulates cholesterol because it limits how much can actually enter into your bloodstream. A bonus here for this little beta-cytosterol, it acts as an anti-inflammatory compound to help maintain healthy prostate in men. How great is that? Not only is it going to do great, help regulating your cholesterol, help controlling your sugar and your metabolism, and then as a bonus, it's going to also help maintain a healthy prostate. For me, that's a win-win, because as a practitioner, I am always looking for supplements, number 1, that are effective. Number 2, multifaceted if possible. Nobody wants a cupboard with 100 things in there that you've got to try to remember to take on a daily basis. It's hard enough already having a family of 7. So if we can all take something and all get benefits, whether we're adults, men, women, or children, we can all get benefits. That's going to be a winner for me automatically, because this is what I love. And this is what I always tell my patients. We're going to replace your pharmaceutical cabinet. We're going to replace it with cellular nutrition. And this is one of the ways you get there. You try to find effective supplements that are multifaceted, that have many, many uses, and that give you more than one benefit. Now, the second compound in here, okay, is crystalline nigellone. This is the source of the plant's respiratory supporting properties. It reduces reactions with hay fevers, symptoms, hay fever, and bronchitis. So it's amazing for the lungs. It absolutely does wonders when we get to there. Now, number 3 is by far, I would say, the most famous compound that everybody knows about this oil. We call it TQ, but the big long name of it is thymoquinone, okay? It is increasingly researched as it shows efficacy in treating degenerative diseases, cancer. It's a potent antioxidant, and it's an anti-inflammatory molecule, and it alters molecular and signaling pathways, helping your body to heal, helping your body to return back to a homeostatic state. Homeostasis, it's when everything internally in your microbiome is at what we call an equilibrium, right? So for example, if you are suffering severe allergies, your body is not in equilibrium, not internally, not metabolically. Your body's actually trying to work back to get to that state. So when we have illnesses or things that come up this way, that is a point where your body is not in homeostasis condition. And this little beautiful gem, it helps you get back to that state, back to where the equilibrium, where it should be. And so hopefully you guys got a lot of value out of this. I have my little post-it note here to remind you guys. HB Naturals carries one that is 3,000 milligrams in the bottle itself. And that is very hard to find. You can go to a health food store and you can find a 4 or an 8-ounce bottle of black seed oil. Take a look at how many milligrams are in that very large bottle. You're going to be hard pressed to find something that's 3,000 milligrams at the price point that you find it on HB Naturals. And so it's just absolutely amazing. It is multifaceted. And these are the reasons right here on this last slide. This is why it can do what it does. Look at how rich it is. Look at everything that it's full of. All these things are needed for basic bodily functions in your body on a day-to-day basis. You can't function without B vitamins. You can't function without copper and zinc. This is a product that has copper and zinc together. I very rarely see a supplement or a product from a plant that has copper and zinc in it together. We know that copper needs zinc, and copper and zinc need all the B vitamins to actually start those chemical chain processes in the body when we speak biochemically. So this, I know Landy and I are just smitten with this little gem here, and we love it. So
wow, thank you so much, Ivy. That was absolutely amazing. I learned from you and Tina both tonight so much. And I always joke and say, like, you could actually just live on black seed oil probably for like a month. It has so much good stuff in it. You could just live on it. So absolutely amazing. Appreciate you guys so much. Let me stop the screen share. Or did you get it, Tina? Okay, are we back to full view, you guys? We ran a little bit over, but oh my gosh, you guys, was that not absolutely amazing? Everybody just, this was so much value tonight. Thank you so much. I'm going to turn it back over to Tina and let you close out the call, love.
There we go. You guys, thank you so much. I felt the energy coming through the chat. Learned so much. Dr. Ivy, thank you so much. I know that I creeped your business page too, so I know that you know cannabinoids as well. So it's just amazing to be a part of this company. I too had never learned or heard of BSO, black seed oil, before joining HB Naturals, and so I'm so thankful to have this amazing natural health kit at my fingertips to help my friends and family. Thank you all so much for hopping on the call. We will see you next Wednesday. Not sure who the speakers are yet or what we're going to cover, but so incredibly thankful for this opportunity, and most importantly for your time, because time is precious. So thank you for hopping on to learn. Have a great evening, everyone. Bye-bye.
Good night.